Hey everybody, it's Kevin and Ralph from Barrel of Monks Brewing. Ralph, our head brewer. Kevin, I am one of the owners and director of operations here at Barrel of Monks. And we are really excited because we have a beer coming back that has not only been a seasonal for us, but something we've released several times throughout the years, and that is Endless Enigma. This beer is actually going to be released again on September 23rd. It's going to be a big event. We're going to have Endless Enigma. We're going to have our Wizard in Pink, which is an updated version of our Witty in Pink, and our first ever Marzen. Really excited to do that. But we just don't talk about our beers as much as maybe we should. We talk about them endlessly every single day, but we realize that we don't really do a lot of beer features on our beers. And Ralph, this has been a passion project of yours from day one. This beer, it's called Endless Enigma. This beer has seen a lot of different iterations.
Mm-hmm.
It started out as a Belgian Pale Ale, well before you were even a twinkle in our eye, and a beer that I helped to brew the first batches of, and that it changed to be an IPA. It went from being a Belgian IPA to changing to have a more of a British ale yeast. It's had a lot of changes over the years. This is the latest incarnation. I'm really proud of this. I love it. I think you should just tell us a little bit about this because this is something you're so proud of.
So, as you were saying, it has a British ale yeast, so I would consider it more of an American style kind of hazy IPA if you can see it on camera. And the hops we're using for this one are Cascade, Mosaic, Citra, and Ricau. So as the hops would imply, it's very tropical. Specifically to me, it's very citrus leaning. So think of like pineapple, tangerine, orange. So it's got a lot of those new school flavors that people covet. It's definitely one of the more juice leaning IPAs, not a big bitterness by any stretch of the imagination. That's very in the background, but it's got like a nice herbal this iteration I get a big basil note, which I get sometimes with certain hops. It's nice because it's that herbal character without going all the way to just tasting like pellets. So yeah, I'm really proud of this version. I think this beer is, as the name implies, it's always going to slightly change and we'll do different things. But yeah, I think we really hit the nail on the head with this particular iteration.
And just, listen, every time we do this beer, we are using different hops, but even when we're using the same style of hops, the same brand of hops, they're from a different, they came from a different crop, or they came from a different area of the country. It's going to be different, right? So there's going to be a drift that's going to happen naturally, and you have the manipulations that you have pioneered. I want to change this. You're also using a thiolized yeast strain in this, which is going to give a lot of different tropical fruit notes, and allows you to manipulate the hops in a different way. Something that we've kind of been doing in all our IPAs for quite a while now, something that you kind of brought to the table for us. And I'm getting all this tangerine. It's kind of all over the place, and there's a softness to this beer that I really, really like. And I'm not insinuating that there's no bitterness here, but there's a soft mouthfeel that maybe more than any other IPA that we've done, maybe that makes it more quote unquote drinkable. I'm not sure, but it's something that jumps out the page to me. I'm picking up that. I'm picking up the pineapple that you mentioned. Just a lot of complexity going on in this beer, and for a beer called Endless Enigma, it's kind of apropos.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with, to not go too nerdy, but by manipulating the water in certain ways, you can get that roundness. And so what that even does, because it's not like this has no bitterness. I think it's 40, 45 IBUs. What that'll do is by manipulating the water in certain ways, you actually extend the flavor of the hops, but they give it like a sweeter character is the best way I can describe it. So that's why, you get all those similar flavors, and you might get some bitterness, but it's going to lean more almost into the character of the bitterness instead of just being like a bracing or biting bitterness. You'll get like the overtones of whether it's pithy, whether it's like I said herbaceous or dank. You'll get to actually taste what that is, and so that kind of leads to some of that between the water and the way the hops are used to some of that fullness. And actually hops, just the oils themselves, can bring a fullness to beer. So using one variety we use, which is a New Zealand variety, some of those hops are known for lending that better than others. So it's just a kind of the synergy of everything we did with this.
Lovely beer. I've been so proud of the IPAs you've been making, Ralph, for the last couple years now, with Waypoint, which is a year-round beer for us. But we've done tons of other beers, Neon Skyline, which we did with the tank. And you're knocking these beers out of the park. I'm really happy that we're doing these. And for you guys who are going to have this beer again, you're having this beer again for the first time. So if you're sitting there going, oh, this doesn't taste like last time. No, that's by design. We want this beer to evolve. We want this beer to change. The spirit of the beer, in a lot of ways, we want to kind of keep on some kind of consistency. But I think that there's definitely room for this. A lot of breweries will just release the same beer and they'll say it's dry hop with this, or they'll change it in that way. But we are kind of positioning Endless Enigmas, and every time you have it, Ralph is kind of going back to the drawing board, finding the things he loves about it, and trying to tweak this to be the best beer that it possibly can be. And we're excited about it. There's limited cases available. There's only about 40 cases that we produced of this beer. We're going to have it on draft here. But once again, if you see this video before September 23rd, 2003, I should probably say, because this will live on YouTube and people will be seeing this in 5 years. But please come in. There'll be a pre-order. It'll be available the Wednesday beforehand. But you can come in and pick this beer up only at Barrel of Monks. It's not going to be available anywhere else. And also, you'll have to get a chance to check out our Wizard in Pink and support Breast Cancer Awareness Month and try our first Marzen, which we'll be talking about those beers in some videos soon. Ralph, you have anything else to say about this delicious, incredible beer?
Not too much, but I will say I definitely recommend people come out and try it. As you said, it's definitely one of our more tangerine-leaning beers. There's definitely aspects I like about this, and I always like when people come out because I'll probably be around at the release, and then I get to talk with our fans and customers and people who really enjoy our beer, and that will help me in the future when I make this again, know the direction we need to go. So I hope to see you there.
Always trying to get better. We'll see you guys around. We hope you'll see you there. Cheers.
Cheers.